Welcome to Subramani. Last week and early part of this week, I was on a vacation with a couple of school friends, maybe 5 or 6 of them. When a friend got a call from his nephew saying, I've taken up my job and I'm getting my first salary soon, and what should I do with my money? Where should I invest? Make no mistake, this guy is also a finance professional, but this is personal finance is not what he does for a living. He does something else. He's a banker. So bankers know what to do, but bankers may not be able to sum it up the way I'm supposed to be able to do it. So this video is for him. He's a young professional, maybe 21, 22 years of age, just finished his education, maybe 23. And he's taking up a job, or he's already taken up a job, and he's about to get his first real money. This is not money given by grandmother, grandfather, uncle, aunt, anybody. This is his own hard-earned money. So what are the things that this person should know, what this kid should know? First thing is, congratulations, you have finished your education, you have taken up your job. Believe me, for most parents, most of us, the fact that we know that our children have finished their education, they've been responsible, and they've taken up their job and they've started earning is some 80% off the load on our heads about our retirement. It's not that we expect you to support us, but we know that you will not need us to support you. So congratulations, this is a fantastic first step. And this boy's parents are medical professionals and doing well, so it is not that they need the money, but it helps them to feel satisfied that my kids are now not going to need my money and they are financially well off. Now it's very important for children to know that when you were young and you were in class 3, class 4, you never thought of it as your money and my money. Your father never asked you, should I pay your school fees, right? So those things it is assumed that the parent will do. Now similarly, give the same level of comfort to your parents. Say, Dad, I'm opening an account and you will be the second holder, or Mom will be the second holder, right? Give them comfort, saying that in case you need, my money is available to you. Saying this is very important. Just saying, oh, they should know it is different, but communicate money at home. This is very, very, very important. So communicate money at home, say nice things to them. The first few months, perhaps first 2-3 salaries will go in buying a watch for your dad, or a sari for your mother, or a sari for your grandmother, right? All these things will happen. It is impossible to say I will not do any of those things. But remember one very important thing, the number one thing for you to understand, the time value of money. The 10 rupees which you save today, maybe I am giving a wrong example, the 500 rupees or the 5,000 rupees that you save today is far more valuable than what you will, the 5,000 rupees that you will save at the age of 60, right? So you are now going to get 38 years of compounding of the 10 rupees that you save, or the 500 rupees that you save, or the 5,000 rupees that you save. So starting early is an extremely useful thing, and there is no point in saying start early for your dad. If your dad has missed the bus, he has missed the bus, but you are 22. So start early, start saving today, right? How to invest is step number 2, but learn to save. If you are earning 100 rupees, see how you can save 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, whatever. Because if you are going to stay with your parents, you can almost save 90 rupees. And if you are going to stay on your own, maybe you can save 30 rupees, because you're going to pay rent and food, etc. But start offering to help at home, whatever it is, some small way, right? Paying the electricity bill, paying the telephone bill, paying the bill for the servant, right? So some of these expenses, maybe you fill in your dad's car and you use your dad's car. Never let him fill the petrol, you fill the petrol, right? Some of these things. So start showing signs that you are responsible and you're pulling in your weight, right? So that's step number 1 that you should do, right? Second, for all of you sorry, who are young today, you have one advantage, that you don't have to support up. Your parents don't need the money. My daughter does not have to support me. Maybe for your parents that was important, that they needed to support their parents, or at least they had to build their own emergency fund. In case of an emergency, I should have money. In case my car breaks down and I have to pay 30,000 rupees, I need to have that money. So build an emergency fund and tell your dad that you have an emergency fund to which he also has access, right? So if you have a savings bank account with your father and mother as second and third holders, anybody can withdraw money in case of an emergency. I'm not saying an emergency will happen, but at least you're behaving responsibly. You're telling your parents that, look, I am preparing for my life. Tomorrow I may need this emergency fund for myself, but in case you need to dip into it, we can all dip into it, right? I'm sure your father has an emergency fund, but when you build like this and you talk like this, it means for financially responsible. So when you're filling up your form for provident fund, etc., make sure that you fill your mother's name correctly or your father's name correctly. Make sure that the name that that it is appearing as a nominee is exactly the same on their PAN card and Aadhaar card, right? Make sure of all these things. These things may be very small. And when you get married, maybe your marriage is 8 years away, 10 years away. When you get married, you have to change the nominee. This is not meant to insult your mother or your father. It is just to say that now there is somebody else who is sharing the financial burden with me. I am buying a house where she is a co-guarantor. So in case something happens to me, I need to take an insurance with her as a nominee. Right now, look at your dad's financial position. If you were to take a smallish term insurance, when I'm saying small, I just mean 1 crore, because 1 crore is going to look very small by the time you are 45, 50, right? You're just 22. So 30 years later, this 1 crore will look very small. But still take a 1 crore term insurance. Maybe you can't get 1 crore. If your salary is 6 lakhs, you may get only 50 lakhs or 60 lakhs. Take it for 50, 60 lakhs and make your parents the nominee. No parent is wanting to live off the money given by the child's insurance. Nobody likes it. But remember, your parents have invested in your education, whatever it is, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 2 crores, whatever is the number, they have made that investment. So there is some moral responsibility on you to repay it. I'm sure if you are a good kid and if you hang around the world, you will repay that in some way or the other. But in case something were to happen to you, let me be blunt, in case death were to happen to you, they should not be deprived of that hole that they made in their own provident fund, right? They removed it from some asset of theirs which was going to be useful for their retirement. So there is a hole there. This is just to fill up that hole. Whatever they have spent, 50 lakhs, less than that, you can get a 50 lakh term insurance, just take it, right? Another good habit to create is to say, I will not buy anything unless I have saved at least 70-80% of the money that I need for buying the product. I'm not talking of small things like buying your mother a sari or your grandmother a sari. No, not those kind of stuff. That of course you should pay cash. Don't use a credit card. But if you want to buy yourself a motorbike for 2 lakhs, it is very easy. The minute you open a bank account, the bank will give you a credit card. They will say you are eligible for this loan. Don't fall for it. I know there are enough bankers around, but don't fall for a loan. You want to buy a motorcycle for 2 lakhs, make sure that you have 1.6 lakhs, right? That is the kind of amount you should have, so that it teaches you something. It teaches you the power of delayed gratification. I need the bike now is not good. I need the bike and I will save for it. Maybe next 10 months I'll save 20,000 rupees a month or 15,000 rupees a month. I'll put together 1,80,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs or 20, whatever, and then buy the bike. This is not so much of denying yourself. Look, you denied yourself this motorbike till the age of 23. It's okay to buy it at the age of 24. Don't succumb to sales pressures, including from your banker who will keep pushing loans at you. Be extremely careful. For housing loans, I'm not talking about for the 22-year-old. No 22-year-old should be buying a house. There are better things to do in life, better things to buy. Invest in experiences. You have money, you have 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, make a trip to Europe, make a trip to US, travel by the cheapest mode of transport, stay in railway stations. You don't have to stay in the best of hotels. Get that experience. I mean, India, there is a lot to see. Europe is to see. So invest in experiences rather than a 1.5 lakh rupee phone. Can you do well with a 70,000 rupee phone? Maybe you can get hand-me-down phones from your seniors in the family. Look at all those things. Don't invest in things just because you now got a salary. Continue to behave like a student and continue to behave frugally, and put together the money that you need to whenever you need to buy a product. Start tracking where your money is going. Write down where your money is going. Where are you spending? What are you doing? If you have a credit card, it's easier because it will tell you where your money is going. But if you are going to a mall, leave your credit card home if you don't have control on yourself. See with which friends you are. Check out whether they are talking about financial responsibility. Make sure that when you go out with friends and drink, or when you eat, make sure that you share the bill, because I know kids who have paid the bill hoping others will pay, and sometimes they don't. So check out your friends, what they are doing, how they are doing, right? So track your expenses. Write down your expenses physically in a notebook, or today many apps are available. Track your expenses. It's very useful. You will suddenly realize that you're spending too much on eating out, or spending too much on clothes, whereas you thought you're spending money on travel. Also understand the travel between the difference between traveling by your own vehicle and traveling by train. There is a huge difference. You can't even believe, from the place where you stay in, say, Ghatkopar or Tilaknagar to Matunga or some place, would be 5 rupees or 7 rupees by train. It is unthinkable today to be able to travel like that in any other mode of transport. Public transport is extremely cheap. So eating at home and using public transport will put an amazing amount of money in your hand. Will you eat out with friends? Yes, of course you will. I'm not saying you won't, but learn to understand, to read labels when you're buying food in a shop. These no sugar or no carbs mean nothing. You should be able to understand each and everything, right? So for example, the McDonald's fries has sugar, it has got salt, and it's got some more chemicals. Look at those chemicals. That could be making you addicted to it, right? So check out, learn to read food labels and learn to read financial labels. Somebody will come and sell you insurance. Don't buy it. Don't buy it just because your classmate is selling it. He has sales pressure. You don't. Don't buy any product before you check out with somebody, find out what is it. Is term insurance useful? Yes. Should you buy any other type of insurance? No. Do you need general insurance? Yes. Do you need medical insurance? Yes. Should you take a medical insurance? Depending on your company, you will get some insurance. See what you're getting. It's always nice to have some of your own insurance, but you can take that at 35. You don't need to take it at 22. Do you need to buy a house? Yes. How will you go about doing it? You will start building a corpus to buy a house at 35. You don't need to be in a great hurry to buy a house. Yes, if you want to buy a house at 30, you want to get married, your house is small, you need a bigger house, all that is perfectly justified. But that is still 7-8 years away, right? There's no great hurry to buy a house. So do all these things, start investing. If you don't know where to invest, learn how to invest. Don't depend on these videos or what your uncle says, what your aunt says, what your neighbor says. They don't matter. We will all be dead and gone by the time you really come to some big money. Learn where to invest. Right now you don't know, start putting money in an index fund. Then learn what is the big large cap fund, what is the mid cap fund. Learn about all that and then start investing in mutual funds. Maybe you could invest in a friend's startup. Maybe you could join a friend's startup. Understand the risks of what you're doing and then do it. Thank you. All the best. May you buy a house soon with ESOPs which your company gives you, not with borrowings from HDFC. Thank you. Bye.